come. And what am I talking about? The ability to work from home, the ability for children to know that they can learn without being in a physical classroom and have those interactions. So what will I change? I think I would change the way our government responds to the human right of saying that things are not good for us and the right to being a human being. I think that for me is the saddest part of 2020, to take the right to be able to protest, to take the right to be able to ask to be ask for better governance and ask for better treatment. That for me is the only thing that is standing. I think that the pandemic is a blessing and in sort of a way a curse, but I think it has strengthened us all and showed us the possibility of so many things we wouldn't think possible. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for that. Oh, I got a taste of a veteran. Thank you for answering the questions and then attempting to change the pandemic, but we found out eventually that the pandemic was actually a blessing in disguise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. TMOD, do I have one more slot to go? I still have two questions. Can I go one more slot?
Absolutely, you do.
Thank you. Now, I would love to listen to guest Tony. Guest Tony, are you still with us? You can see those questions are very relatable. Guest Tony, are you inspired to enter the court and give it a shot? Okay, Guest Tony would not want to speak. I don't know the status of Aisha Saba. Is she a Toastmaster or a guest?
She is a Toastmaster.
Okay. I think I would love her to give it a shot. Our guests are not coming forward for this experience, but I'm sure by the time they are done, we are done with this session. So Toastmaster Aisha, can we have you on the virtual lectern to pick one of the two remaining questions for this segment?
Okay, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Apologies where I am. It's a bit noisy, so I don't know if you don't. I can't put on my video. Sorry for that. And we can go on. What number should I choose, please?
Okay, you have between question 3 and question 4. But before you do that, I must appreciate you for your commitment. Despite the fact that you were not in a conducive environment, you still joined the meeting. Thank you for that. We are so grateful for that, your commitment. Yeah, thank you. So you have question 3 and question 4. Which of them would you want to give a shot?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3.
Yeah.
Wow. So share with us your most memorable experience in the year 2020. Share with us your most memorable experience in the year 2020. Your time starts now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, the Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good morning. My most memorable moment in the year 2020. It's a very special and personal experience with me, and to me rather, and it is my pleasure to share it with you. So this day, to be specific, on the 22nd of October 2020, I woke up this morning about leaving for work, and I was just trying to secretly and slowly get out of the room so that my 15-month-old baby doesn't get the clue that I was about leaving the room to run off to work. And the next thing I heard, "Mommy, come back." At that point, I couldn't help myself. No, I needed to get out to beat the traffic. But I had to go back, carry them, cuddle him, spend some minute with him. I was ready to spend extra time. I don't mind if I will spend, even stay longer to get to work. And when I was done, I dropped him, pecked him, and said goodbye. And the next thing he said, "Mommy, don't go." At that point again, I had to still stay back. And to me, actually, those were the first 3 words he said. "Mommy, come." Okay, the first one, "Mommy, come." And the next one, "Mommy, don't go." So those moments were very special to me. And it will forever linger in my heart. And it's, I think, the best in the year, despite all other activities that has happened, the pandemic, the protests, and other personal hurdles I went through. It's my pleasure once again sharing this moment with you. Thank you. I hope I've spoken for up to 2 minutes, or is it 3 minutes? Thank you. The table topic
Wow.
master.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Such a refreshing experience listening to Toastmaster David, Toastmaster Kanimo, and Toastmaster Aisha. Thank you so much for celebrating live with us in this segment. We really appreciate you for taking the step and then sharing your stories with us and then answering those questions. At this point, I would like to hand over back the control to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you all for participating, and thanks to the people that will participate in the next session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, beautiful. That was such an ebullient delivery on your role as the table topics master for the day. Thank you for playing a role at our meeting. We are going to replicate that gesture. We'll come over to Asurok to also do the same thing. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the first segment of today's meeting. But in line with what I said earlier, that no segment of our meeting goes without evaluation. Evaluation, as a matter of fact, is at the core of what we do at Toastmaster. We are going to go straight into the evaluation of the table topics, but before then, I would like to confirm from the timer whether all the speakers spoke within the allotted times. So, Madam Timer, over to you to present the timing report.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. With the exception of TM David, every other person was within the time allotted.
How many minutes?
TM David was 2 minutes, 25 seconds.
He is qualified. As a matter of fact, every speaker has 30 seconds buffer to round up their speech. So he is qualified. So they are all qualified to be voted for.
They're all qualified. TM Akanima Ojo was 1 minute, 45 seconds. Then TM Aisha Sabah was 1 minute, 54 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you for that excellent job. So at this juncture, the poll will come up. Please cast your vote for who you think is the best speaker among all the three speakers. On this note, I would like to now proceed to the next segment, which is the evaluation of the table topics. And to do us that honor of evaluating today's table topics is also an experienced Toastmaster from the #1 corporate Toastmasters club in Nigeria. Toastmaster Seyi Oladeji will be our table topics evaluator. He is a social innovator with extensive experience in social engineering and leadership development. He's a member of Delta Africa Toastmasters Club and joined Toastmasters in 2016. He is passionate about values education. He loves to travel and try new food. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, the table topics evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Seyi Oladeji.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Yusuf Akpeno. It's a delight to see you after such a while. And I'm sure you're doing an outstanding job leading the Eagles Toastmasters Club. Well done. It's a delight to be at today's meeting. And it's good to know that today is the final meeting for the year. And indeed, it has been a year that we should be grateful for. Going quickly to evaluate the table topics segment, I must commend all the speakers, the ebullient, I must include, speakers who volunteered to speak during the table topics session. So this is for you. Well done, well done. I will first like to commend the table topics master for coming up and showing enthusiasm for this segment and sharing why it is important for everyone to participate during the table topics segment. And I particularly like the quote that says that every time you open your mouth to speak, you are up for an audition. I think that was quite appropriate and inspired members to want to speak. So well done, Toastmaster Benga. Toastmaster David, your topic was 3 things you are most grateful for in the year 2020. You started by talking about family, which for a lot of us is something that we hold dearly, and you resonated that in your speech. You told us how you're grateful for family and how you've learned tolerance. That's another thing you told us that you are grateful for. And you also told us how you've grown even in isolation during the lockdown, which is quite commendable. Another thing I'll commend you for is the pitch with which you shared your experience of the things you are grateful for. Your pitch connotes a reflective mindset, which all of us should actually emulate. You, at some point in your speech, look directly to the camera. At some point, you were looking to the side of the camera and we're wondering if you were trying to draw inspiration from there. So it's important, because it's a virtual meeting, that you keep your gaze on your camera so it can endear your audience to whatever it is that you're saying. You also did not use the word of the day. I expected you to use the word of the day, even being the grammarian yourself. So please use the word of the day next time. I thought I had 6 minutes for evaluation. I'm seeing I need to round up now. Please, Toastmaster of the day, can I get the right...
Please proceed. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. And you rounded up once you saw the red card, which is commendable, and it is something every Toastmaster should do. I love the way you spoke. Your diction was quite good and something to emulate. Thank you, Toastmaster David. Toastmaster Akanimo, your topic was, if you had the chance to start year 2020 again, what will you do differently? When you were asked to come, of course, you gave us an excuse that you were in a place you couldn't put up your camera, even though that would have been appreciated to appreciate the speech you were going to share with us. But of course, it was allowed. The first thing you told us that you would love to change, even though 2020 is something you are grateful for, and I are grateful for the pandemic, you told us of the fact that you would have loved to change the government's stance on human rights and dignity, and how the government handled the protests that happened in the country, which is commendable. You did not use the word of the day. You're a veteran Toastmaster, so I would not excuse you. I've seen you speak, so I know you should not forget to use the word of the day. And one thing you did well that helped you, even though you were in a place that seemingly looked like you were unsettled, you rode on some of the things that Toastmaster David shared, which allowed you to settle into your topic, which is a very good tactic that every Toastmaster can learn from. Well done, Toastmaster Akanimo. And finally, Toastmaster Aisha Saba. Your topic is most memorable experience in the year 2020. You started by telling us a story with your child about how you wanted to leave the house and you got a prompting not to. And what stories does is stories leave memories with us. They allow your speech to linger in our hearts for a long time, and you use that so effectively. Well done, Toastmaster Aisha. Of course, you also did not use the word of the day, ebullient, but you sounded quite optimistic throughout your speech. Even though you were in a place, according to you, that was noisy, you did not allow that to discourage a smooth communication of your speech. And I will encourage that you use the word of the day, like I said, and keep speaking as a Toastmaster. Well done. So I must commend all the Toastmasters that came out to speak. It is not an easy thing to speak extemporaneously. So keep speaking. Well done. I'll now hand over control to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Yusuf Aquino.
Thank you, Mr. Topics Evaluator. That was an excellent delivery. Thank you very kindly for playing this role. We appreciate your attendance at the Eagle and Victoria Bay meeting. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the first segment of today's meeting. On this note, I would like us to proceed on a 5 minutes comfort break. I think we are still doing well with time. After the break, we are going to go into the most interesting part of this meeting, the most exciting part of this meeting. So look forward to that after the break. By my watch, it is 10:48. By 10:53, we'll be back here. The break starts now.
Down in love again, it feels like nothing. All out of luck again, you know we know the talk again. She want a tsunami, 17 cool mommy. Don't show me love again, it feels like nothing. I'm in love again, it feels like nothing. All out of luck again, you know the talk again. She want a tsunami. Baby, I'm so bad, carry on back. I'm so baby, say I'm so you can be my lover, so bad, carry on back. Oh, yeah, if you give me some love, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Follow me, no cry, don't cry, yeah. They just look up and shout out, don't cry, cry. When I shoot like don't cry. No cry, no cry, no cry. Say for love, no cry, no cry, no cry. She's escape. No. Straight to Abuja, let's sleep for good tonight. Hey, no crime, no crime. Hey, no time, relax. Girl, everyone knows I'm in love. No crime, get a little bad. Is it love you are looking for? Is it peace you are looking for? Looking for, you go find out more. Don't worry anymore. You go get time even more, even more, You go get hard now. It may be difficult for you. You may be thinking,
Yes.
can you really make it true? You may be asking, it's not only you that do. You may be waiting for your miracle. Let's keep us, let's keep us.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the 5 minutes comfort break. I'm sure you don't want the music to end because we are in the month of celebration. Thank you kindly for attending this meeting, and thank you for staying up to this moment. At this juncture, we are going straight into the next segment. I don't even know how to do this. Let me say that on the 8th of December, 2020, the Eagle Toastmasters Club, the premier Toastmasters Club in Nigeria, accomplished another great height. It is in our tradition to produce the very best at Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to let you know that we produced another DTM, a distinguished Toastmaster, this week. If you are excited about that, I want you to unmute yourself and give a round of applause to the club before I unveil the masquerade. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited as the 15th president of this club to let you know that our own Toastmaster Oyindamola Ajoke Egbeyemi, became a DTM. Please, a round of applause to her. In the course of the week, I was discussing with Toastmaster Oyin regarding this great feat. And I was telling her that distinguished Toastmaster is the PhD of the Toastmasters International. Because for you to become a DTM, you need a minimum of 40 quality projects. You need to have been a club president, which she has done. She was a past president of Eagle Toastmasters Club. You need to have been the area director. She was the immediate past area director for Area 17. You also need to have sponsored a club. She has sponsored Total Nigeria PLC Toastmasters Club. You also need to mentor a club and ensure that that club you mentor is successful. She currently mentors Victoria Bay Toastmasters Club. You need to do a high performance leadership project. She has done that. So, ladies and gentlemen, a DTM anywhere in the world is equivalent to being or just completing your PhD program. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great feat. It's the highest honor in Toastmasters parlance. So before I bring on Toastmaster Oyindamola Ajoke Egbeyemi to tell us the journey of being a DTM, I would like to read her profile. Toastmaster Oyindamola Ajoke Egbeyemi was a graduate of chemical engineering from Imperial College London. Following a stint at Accenture and PwC, she moved to work for a family business as the executive administrator of the Foreshore School, Ikoyi. She has been a member of Toastmasters International for 10 years. This is a journey. She has served in various executive roles, including past area director, Area 17. She co-founded the All for God, All for Good, and Stories Worth Telling charities, and volunteers for the Association of Private Educators, private educators in Nigeria, and the Lagos State Ministry of Education. Toastmaster Oyin enjoys writing, exercising, and spending quality time with our loved ones. Ladies and gentlemen, with a special applause for a DTM, please, I present to you the latest, the brand new distinguished Toastmaster of the Eagle Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Oyindamola Ajoke Egbeyemi, DTM.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good morning. Sorry, I just had a bit of an interruption right there. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Yusuf Akpeno, Mr. President, for that introduction. It really is indeed a pleasure to be here and to celebrate, in line with our theme for today's meeting, this honor and award. I am not going to lie, it has been a very long journey, and I'm just going to give you all a brief about it and hope that at least one person is inspired and can embark on the same journey, because Toastmasters is really, really a platform that has helped me progress in my personal and professional lives. I would always talk about it. I would always talk about the support, the encouragement I have received from Toastmasters over all these years, and how everything has actually come together to help me form the woman I am today. So I have been on this journey of self-discovery for the past 30 years, in line with the angle of leadership, because I have been an older sibling for at least 30 years. And why do I say 30 years? This was the first time when I was 2, was when I think I started to become more self-aware. That is the age that a child really, really becomes more self-aware. And I have been on this journey since then. The thing about me, however, is that I am one of the most aloof people I know in my life. Sometimes I don't realize some things I'm doing. Sometimes I don't realize my potential. Many times people have had to tell me what my potential is before discovering it myself. And Toastmasters has a huge role to play in this journey of self-discovery. When I was in secondary school, I was brilliant academically. I am a granddaughter of teachers, so I don't think I really had a choice but to be academically sound. So in terms of schoolwork, getting assignments done, being a good student, 100%, I was always on top of my game in that regard. However, when I was in SS3 and people were running for prefectship at the school, I didn't run for it because I didn't think it was something that was critical to me or relevant to anything I was going to do further on in my life. I didn't run for anything. However, towards the time I was about to graduate from school, some teachers started coming to me and saying, you know, you could have been a prefect. And when you hear this from more than 2-3 people, you wonder, what is it that these people see in me that makes them think I could have been a prefect? I didn't even see it as anything that was important then. So fast forward to when I was in university, so like about 5 or 6 years later, and I had to do a research project for my final year. In doing a research project, I was required to be in the lab for about 6 weeks, put together a lot of experiments, and basically come out with a report. So my partner and I came out with a fantastic report. We had a lot of discoveries, but at the end of it, we had to present this report in the form of a PowerPoint presentation to a panel of 2 members of an audience. And I thought, okay, it's just 2 members of an audience. It's not going to be that difficult to present. However, when I got to this audience, I froze. And apart from freezing, I think my presentation was so boring that one member of the 2 started to fall asleep, or he looked like he was falling asleep. He just looked like he wasn't interested. It was really then that it dawned on me that it's not enough to enjoy my private victories, but I needed to do something about making my private victories public. Otherwise, people would not realize the content of everything I was working so hard for. So it was the summer after I graduated that I actually met a gentleman called Mr. Philip Porter. He used to work for the United Nations. I was at a networking event in Switzerland. And again, another person who realized potential in me said, Oyin, you should join Toastmasters. It would really help you develop to become the woman that you want to be. And I was like, why do people keep telling me what I need to do? But being the good girl that I am, I would always obey and follow. As soon as I moved back to Nigeria, the first thing I did was join a Toastmasters club. And it was when I went in for my first meeting and I saw Amici Okobi, who was the president then, give a speech, I understood why I needed to become a member of this club. So the interesting thing about Amici is that he gives speeches in a very warm, with a very warm demeanor. He doesn't have to be someone who is exaggerated in his gestures, which is something that I can relate with because personality-wise, I don't appear to be extrovert. I am not extroverted and I don't appear to be aggressive, but I, in a laid-back way, drive my points across. So I could relate to that. And then I gave my first speech a few weeks later, mentored by Toastmaster Remy Abere, who also told me, you have a lot of good content. You just need to continue to work on your delivery. And it was also because of her that I started my blog. Fast forward to 6 months after that, Toastmaster Akin Shemowo came to me again. I said, why don't you join my executive committee? I'm looking for someone who would be a secretary. And I was like, why me? 6 months into my membership, I'm just trying to adjust to being a member of Toastmasters. I just want to learn how to give my speeches and call it a day. Again, someone who saw potential. I joined his executive committee. And since then, after that initial role, I played 4 more roles on the same executive committee under various phenomenal leaderships. Toastmaster Oluyemi Adeosun and Toastmaster Keji Sonny, who was the person that told me, why don't you run for VP Education? Anyone who's a member of this club knows that running for VP Education means you are going to be president in the next year. And I thought, do I really have what it takes to be president? I wasn't sure, but I had the push and I did it. Eventually, I became president, and in that tenure, we achieved a lot of goals. We got our perfect 10 and we became a President's Distinguished Club within about 6 months of our tenure. We got awards for this and recognition that we actually were ahead of most clubs in West Africa. It was at this point that I had gained more confidence and become more self-aware of my potential. Then I started to take initiative in performing roles on my own without having someone to tell me to do things. And that is how my journey to DTM really, really got catalyzed. I started taking initiative and giving speeches at other clubs, asking people what roles I could play or what I needed to do in order to, for example, become the area director it is not just about, for me, it was about going around and networking, but also proving myself and putting in the work that would give me the credibility to be able to play these roles. So basically, I don't want to go on too much about the roles I've played and the things I've done. I think Mr. President has said a lot of that already. But the point I want to raise here is that the journey to DTM, it's taken me about 6 years, and it has been an interesting one. I have been able to apply everything I've learned at Toastmasters to work. I'm a leader at my organization, and I have become more confident in giving public speeches, no matter what environment I find myself in. Sometimes I find myself to be the youngest person in the room, but I don't let that to be an intimidating factor. And Toastmasters has indeed played a huge, huge, huge role in that. So I urge everyone who's here to take your journey seriously, but also enjoy it. The support from Toastmasters is absolutely phenomenal. This is the place where you come in, you make your mistakes, we clap for you, we encourage you, and you become a better person for it. So please, please, please embark on this journey, embark on roles, do different things. There's so many opportunities available. And with this, I would like to end my speech. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Wow. I've been inspired. Thank you, Madam DTM, Toastmaster.
Thank you.
I am certain a number of us have been inspired as well. One of the things I did as soon as Toastmaster became a DTM was to quickly overhaul my projects. Where I am, why am I still here? I discovered that I'm a member of Victoria Bay. I need to talk to the treasurer to pay my membership fee so that I can do the project at both ends. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the ultimate. So we need to keep developing ourselves. We need to keep improving. And you can see Toastmaster Oyin, she has read out the benefits of being a Toastmaster, the confidence, the ability to engage any audience, anywhere in the world. Thank you, Toastmaster Oyin, for that. We wish you the very best in your journey as in your pursuit of a DTM under the Pathways Learning Experience. I'm sure that is what we'll be looking forward to. Thank you for the inspirational message. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, so you've heard from the latest DTM. We move right away to the next segment of today's meeting, which is the prepared speech segment. And to lead the pack to do the first project is another person who has just commenced a journey of being a DTM. Everything is just playing along. This person is delivering an Icebreakers project, which is the first project in Toastmaster, and she's going to be evaluated by a DTM, which means she's going to take over the baton from the DTM. So, Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo, please confirm you are ready to deliver your icebreaker speech.
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning.
Wow. Okay, so before I bring on Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo, I would like to invite our evaluator, which is our latest DTM, to quickly provide the speech objective. Madam DTM, over to you.
Okay, thank you again. Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo will be giving her icebreaker speech. This is basically the very first speech you ever give as a Toastmaster, and I'm very honored to be evaluating this speech. So the objectives for this speech are to begin speaking before an audience and to discover speaking skills that she already has, as well as some skills that she needs to pay attention to. She has 4 to 6 minutes, and I wish her all the very best.
Thank you, Madam DTM. Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo will be delivering an icebreaker speech under the Pathways Learning Experience. Toastmaster Ibidun has the premium services team of one of the leading banks in Nigeria. Her favorite mantra is, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So she's a doer. Ladies and gentlemen, bring with me to the virtual space another Toastmaster who is starting a journey of a DTN, Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo.
Thank you so much, the President. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. I so love December. It's my favorite month of the year. I love all the festivities that goes on in December. And that song by Andy Williams is one of the ways I start December festivities. My name is Ibidun Omotoyo. I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a banker. December for me means time with family. It means time, the Christmas carols, the songs. Although I wasn't born in December, but I like to think I was conceived in December because exactly 9 months after Christmas, I was born on September 25. Oftentimes people ask me what my name means, and I usually can be mischievous sometimes, and I tell them that my name has 3 meanings. First is Ibidun, which is this place is sweet or delightful. And then the second is Ibidun, which is evil is sweet. At this juncture, I usually pause to let people think what kind of parents I would have to have such a name. And then I now tell them the third meaning, which is the actual meaning, Ibidun, birth is sweet or precious. And my birth was sweet and precious. My mom testifies. I had a fantastic childhood, breezed through primary, secondary, and university. Being a daughter of a lecturer and a teacher, my primary, secondary school, and university education went smoothly. Then came the labor market after I served my fatherland in the northwest of Nigeria. The labor market was waiting for me, and it wasn't actually easy. After going through a lot of processes trying to get a job, with one instance actually sticking to mind, a friend and I went to a multinational company where we lied downstairs with security men to tell them that we were going upstairs for a business, but we actually ended up in the 10th floor and confessed that we were job seekers looking for any vacancy or opening. And then they were upset with us and called security on us. 2 mean-looking men drove us downstairs, and we felt like criminals all through the lifts back downstairs. Of course, we were tossed off the property and we walked out with our tails between our legs. We had many other episodes. There was a time I fell into a gutter when the drainage gave way, and we had a lot of experiences. After a while, I decided that this is not the right way to go. And I looked to my sister, who also at that time finished university about the same time as I did. And she was calm. She was always studying, reading GMAT and some other textbooks and browsing newspapers for any vacancy while I was busy going up and down. So I said that I should try her way. So I joined her in studying, and not quite long after, she got a wind of an opening in a foremost bank, and we both applied for the job. A few weeks after, we sat for the aptitude test. We both passed, and then we went for the interview, where unfortunately she didn't get the job, even though she had a more useful qualification than I did, because she studied economics, which was closer to what we were looking for. But I, with my English arts degree, got the job with the bank, and there began my journey in the banking industry. I've had a lot of fantastic years, and then came last year when I made a change to a new role. And then late last year, my journey began where I now had to be giving presentations and speeches. Then I realized I wasn't as evident when it comes to presentation. And then, so what I have now is I have heart palpitations. I'm always, sometimes I won't feel dizzy like I'm going to faint. I realized that I can't continue like this, because this now became part of my role. Albert Einstein defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I realized that I couldn't go on and do the same thing. And while discussing with a colleague of mine, she told me about Toastmasters Club and talked about the things that I stand to gain if I join the club. 2 meetings after, I signed up immediately to become a member. And today I'm actually starting my journey in becoming a better presenter and a good leader. I'd like to thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, wow. Thank you very kindly for delivering your icebreaker speech. I can confirm here that the birth was very sweet from your environment. Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Ibidun. Looking forward to celebrating you in the next couple of years as a DTM. Well done. So ladies and gentlemen, we move right away to the next speaker, who is also going to be speaking from the Pathways Learning Experience. Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko will be completing our project level one project 2. Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko she's a CC under the Legacy program. She has started a journey of completing projects under the Pathways Learning Experience. And before I bring on Toastmaster Yetunde, let me bring on our evaluator, who is our past president, Toastmaster Olumide Akintokun. It's been a while. Toastmaster Olumide.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Yes, it's been a while. We missed you last week at the meeting, and it's wonderful to see your face again. Yeah, we noticed the absence, so don't look surprised. It's good to see you, Mr. President. All right, like Mr. President mentioned, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko is a competent communicator. That means on the Legacy program, Legacy Learning Experience, she has completed her first set of 10 speeches, and she has been awarded the Competent Communicator Award. But she has taken the bold step of starting, in quote, all over again, the pathways, the new Pathways Learning Experience, and she has already given her icebreaker, which is the first speech every Toastmaster would have to give to introduce themselves to the club and to the guests around at the meeting. So she's going on to level 1 project 2. Now the essence of this project is for her to be able to collect feedback and use the feedback in her subsequent speeches. So for the objective of this speech are for me to observe her speech and then to give her my feedback and recommendations. And then at a third speech, she would apply this feedback she has received from this speech to that new speech. You can choose a new speech. You can decide to use the same speech she used for this project. So Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko, I commend your journey so far. And for this project, I'll be on the lookout for those things we discussed that you asked me to be on the lookout for, and then for some other recommendations that I might have at the end of your speech. For this, you have 5 to 7 minutes. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator, past President Toastmaster Olumide Akintokun. I must comment the fact that you look so ebullient. I can see you are in the spirit of celebration. Well done. So Toastmaster Yetunde will be delivering project 2, level 1. And here is her profile. She joined Toastmaster in 2015. She's a photographer, a budding photographer for that matter, and a mother to 3 boys, and she's a wife. She loves all kinds of sports, mostly tennis and gym workouts. She believes there is a solution to everything. You just need to be flexible and think outside the box. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko.
Thank you. Today, I was thinking to myself, the other day, I was talking to myself. These are both two sentences everyone here has uttered before, but never put much importance to them. But actually, these two phrases are very meaningful and important. Dear Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, today I would like to talk to you about procrastination. Yes, and procrastination is actually a Latin word that means pro for crastinus, tomorrow, for tomorrow. And what I want to talk to you about, I would like you to listen very well, because today we are going to dive deep into the human consciousness. When we're saying things like, I was thinking to myself, it's a very weird concept, because who is the I and who is the myself? Or let me even take it one step further, a bit more mind-blowing. Because the other day, I heard a divorcee say, all through my marriage, I was lying to myself. Isn't that crazy? How can sane, intellectual human beings like us be lying to ourselves? For instance, this shirt that I'm wearing is black. Can I lie to myself that it is actually orange? Fellow Toastmasters, if you don't understand what I'm saying, let me explain this trail of thoughts and break it down to you. The I is actually your conscious self. The myself is your father, your mother, your friends, in short, everyone and every situation that has influenced you till today. So when you are thinking to yourself, you are in a constant dialogue with your ebullient and noisy past. So you might be now asking, what does that have to do with procrastination? I have a very good example for you. Just a few minutes ago at the table topics session, when the table topics master asked you, who want to volunteer? Didn't you start a dialogue with yourself? Yes, be true. You did. And your discussion in your head somehow went like this. I bet you. Oh, I'm not ready. No, I'm scared. Maybe I'll be ready next time, because the last time I messed up, I'll mess up again. Let me just wait till the next table topics meeting. Then I'll be ready. So what do you have to say to that? There's this motivational speaker and psychologist, Mel Robbins. She puts it this way. Our mind is designed to protect us. So every time our blood work gets pumping, it wants us to save ourselves. It wants us to remain in our comfortable space. It doesn't want us to act. It always talks us into not doing something because it might hurt us. So many times in my own situation that I've been in front of the computer, that I've been editing and I've been looking at YouTube videos and also just looking at other photographers' images instead of going out there and doing my own and creating my own. Because my mind always told me to stay where I am because the streets of Lagos are very, very dangerous. In fact, wasn't there a colleague of yours back then, 5 years ago, who got robbed of his camera? So maybe you should just stay where you are, safe. And this conversation goes on and on and on and on. There are so many things that seem to be so unpleasant to us that we just don't want to do. And they are mostly the little things. For instance, just taking the trash out. Our mind tells us that we don't have the time, we are stressed. But we don't realize that actually leaving the task undone is what is giving us anxiety. Now, what can we do with this seemingly hopeless situation? Because obviously you can't win a fight against yourself. A very renowned Chinese strategist puts it this way: the greatest victory you can achieve is one without battle. So I'm going to tell you now how you can get out of this procrastination habit that we all have. Don't step into the ring, figuratively speaking. Don't step into the ring with your mind. Just avoid it. Just shoo your mind when it starts talking to you. Let peace reign. Just get in a stage of Zen and start counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Trust me, it works. It works all the time. I have tried it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the trash out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick up your phone. Call your in-laws. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick up your camera. Go out in the streets of Lagos and discover life. Fellow Toastmasters, the message is clear. What you just need to do is shut out your noisy, ebullient mind, count backwards from 5, and the next time the Toastmaster or the Table Topics Master of life calls on you to do something that seems to be unpleasant or disagreeable, count backwards and take center stage to Toastmaster.
Wow, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Call your family together and celebrate live. Thank you, Toastmaster Yetunde. The message is well received. Thank you kindly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you are enjoying yourself. I am enjoying myself. This is the final meeting for the year, and it's not falling short of all the expectations that you expect from this meeting. So right now we'll go to the last but not least project of today's meeting. And that is going to be delivered by my able Vice President Membership, Toastmaster Victor Ajayi. Before I bring on Toastmaster Victor Ajayi, let me invite Mr. Vice President Education, who is going to do us the honor of evaluating Toastmaster Victor Ajayi's speech. Over to you, Mr.
Hey, Mr. President, I'm not evaluating his TMOE, please.
Okay, thank you for that information. So I would like Madam DTM to give us the project objective for Toastmaster Victor Ajayi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you once again, Mr. President. Again, it's an honor to be evaluating another speech by Toastmaster Victor Ajayi. This is coming from the Pathways Level 3 Project 2, and it's going to be an interesting format of a speech, which is in the form of an interview. Toastmaster Victor Ajayi is expected to display specific skills, abilities, or contents that he wants to practice. He has to design good questions and know exactly what will be asked. And he is to display poise and give concise answers to questions and be able to reflect on effective answers. Over to you, Toastmaster Victor Ajayi.
Thank you, Madam DTM Toastmaster Egbeyemi. Toastmaster Victor Ajayi is a passionate automation control system and cybersecurity professional in a complex process facility owned by a Fortune 100 company. He is married to a lovely lady by name Modesola, and they are blessed with Emmanuel and Michelle. He believes that if something is worth doing well, then it is worth doing at all. If something is not worth doing well, I beg your pardon, then it is not worth doing well. He loves to motivate the younger generation and inspire them to greatness. He is a sonorous saxophone player and loves listening to jazz music. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the final speech for today, Toastmaster Victor Ajayi.
All right, I'll take it from here. Toastmaster Victor Ajayi, the objectives of this speech has already been read, so I'll just go straight into it, into the role play. Mr. Victor Ajayi, welcome once again. I hope it was not a stressful one. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the interest you found in our company. I'd like to express our appreciation that you found our company worthy of being partners with. And I'd like to say that I've gone through your resume and it's quite impressive. I must say, I have seen resumes over the course of my career, and I'll say this one rocks the boat. However, resumes are only as good as they look. We need to see and feel the man behind the resume. But again, I'd like to apologize. We spoke on phone, and this is the third time we're going to be rescheduling this interview because of exigencies that came up. The other, if you notice, it's just me here. The other panelists have emergencies that they had to attend to. And so I'll try my best to be as representative of them as possible. So the voice you'll be hearing will be a representation of my two other panelists. And then we hope we'll have a good time in these few minutes that we have. So like I said, I've gone through your resume and it looks impressive. But resumes alone don't tell the story. So can I know more about you? Who is Victor Ajayi?
Thank you, Olumide, for this opportunity to interview for this role of the lead industrial control system cybersecurity engineer. Just like you rightly said, my name is Victor Ajayi. I have over 10 years of industry experience, which span across operations technology, industrial control system, industrial automation, and of course, cybersecurity. This actually I've been able to build over the years in a complex process facility owned by Chevron. It's actually the extravagant gas to liquid plant where we interact with complex processes. And my role in that organization is actually to ensure that all of our industrial control systems are secure from cyber attacks. As you know that we're in a world that is actually, everything is now online due to industrial Internet of Things. I need to ensure that every of our systems, they are well protected from cyber attack. So, and I also have excellent leadership and management experience, which I believe will help me to better fulfill this role I have advertised today.
Okay, interesting stuff. Okay, so hold that thought there. We're going to come back to that if we have more time. I have met the professional Victor, but have not met the other side of you. So hold that thought. We're coming back to that. An important question I want to ask you is this. You mentioned your past achievements as systems automation expert and as cyber security expert. Can you highlight some of your achievements over the years in the field of ICS OT cybersecurity?
Well, excellent. I've been opportunity to lead several projects in the field of ICS OT cybersecurity. And one of such is being part of the team that commissioned, installed, and is presently managing the cybersecurity space of a complex process facility. Another one is the fact that the very first vulnerability assessment of that facility, I was privileged to be the lead engineer that took on that role. And to tell you the actual fact, were able to pass that assessment with very high grades. And also in recent times, especially in this year 2020, I just bagged 2 industry-leading certification in the field of ICS cybersecurity. One of such is Certified Information System Professional CISSP, and the second one is Certified Information System Manager. Of course, I can go on and on, but I believe that with these few achievements, I can do justice to the present role being advertised.
Okay, that's brilliant. These certifications that you mentioned are desirable. However, could you just share with me your greatest weakness that you think you might have?
All right. Thank you, Lumide. No one is perfect, and I'm not trying to be an exception. My greatest weakness that I've noticed over the years is the fact that I always avoid giving feedback to people, especially when it is critical. I love to praise people. And one thing I've done in recent times to make sure that I overcome this weakness is to become part of the international organization where great leaders and speakers have been developed. That is Toastmasters International. So one of the roadmap I've laid out for myself is to ensure that I consistently participate in all of our meetings and ensure that I give constructive feedback to members of the group. This way, I believe I can overcome this weakness, which I believe is good for every manager and every leader to have. So that is one of the things I'm doing so far to be able to overcome this weakness. And of course, I have some developmental training I've lined up for myself to also build on this soft skill.
All right, we're running out of time. I'm getting some calls from my office that there's some issues I need to attend to, but you have to field one more question for me. In 20 seconds, can you tell me, apart from money, what do you look for in a job?
Wow. One single thing I look forward to in a job, or one of the most top priority for me in a job, is a job that gives room for work-life balance. While going through the requirements and the profile of your organization on your website, I noticed that one thing that your organization, CyberSafe, push forward for is to ensure that all of their employees, they maintain a good work-life balance. And I believe that is a perfect fit for my own work ethic.
All right, Victor Ajayi, that will be all for now. You look like an interesting person. I think we should see more of each other soon. We'll hang out sometime and share a few drinks. We'll reach out to you, Victor. You can have a very nice weekend. Please tell the next person to come in.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Master of the day.
Yeah, thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hone your interview skill, there you have it, both from the interviewer and the interviewee. Thank you to Mr. Victor Ajayi for the opportunity to learn from a live interview session. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the prepared speech segments. On this note, I am going to take a back seat for a while I allow Mr. General Evaluator to lead us on the feedback segment. It was a management consultant, Ken Blanchard, that said, feedback is the breakfast of champions. So remember, you are going to cast your vote for who you think is the best speaker. We had 3 speakers today. Before I hand over to Mr. General Evaluator, Madam Timer, please confirm that all the speakers spoke within the allotted time. Madam Timer, over to you, please. All right.
Apologies, I had some technological challenges. TM Ibido had 4 minutes, 55 seconds. TM Yetunde Babaiko had 7 minutes, 19 seconds. And TM Victor Ajayi had 7 minutes, 40 seconds. So I think he's the only exception as he exceeded the 30 minutes and 30 seconds grace. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't get the last person that exceeded her time.
TM Victor Ajayi, he had 7 minutes, 40 seconds. So he exceeded the 30 minutes grace period. Yes.
Okay. I will give him a presidential waiver because of the nature of the project. So we may proceed to vote for all the speakers. Right now, I will hand over the control of this meeting to the general evaluators to lead us on the feedback segment. Over to you, Mr. VP.
Right, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mr. President. So I'll now proceed with the evaluation segment. The poll has been launched, please note, and so you can vote now for the better speaker. Thank you.
I think we lost Toastmaster Lai over there. Toastmaster Lai, please confirmed. You're still okay. While we are waiting for Toastmaster Lai, I will quickly stand in for him while he's trying to sort out his connectivity. The first speech was delivered by Toastmaster Ibidu Omotoyo, and she was evaluated by our own DTM, Toastmaster Winda Mola Egbeyemi. So I will now bring on our evaluator to provide feedback. Toastmaster Win, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President, for the introduction again. Toastmaster Ibidu Omotoyo, well done on breaking the ice. Can everyone please give Toastmaster Ibidu a virtual round of applause? It is not easy to come in front of an audience for the first time, albeit virtually, to give a speech. Toastmaster Ibidu, it is very obvious that you prepared immensely for this speech. Starting from your setup, your outfit, the entire background, your camera position, that was spot on. Even some more experienced Toastmasters haven't been able to put that together just as well as you did yet. So I would say very well done. That created a fantastic first impression for me, and I'm sure for everyone else who was listening to your speech. You had a clear flow of thought throughout your speech, and given that it's an icebreaker, a way of getting to know you, we did all get to know something about you, from your name to your parents, to your professional journey, and a few things about you personally. I loved that you started your speech with a song. So apart from the background, you started with a song which actually captivated your audience. And that is always a good way to even break the ice in general when you're giving a speech. I liked that you spoke smoothly and somewhat calmly throughout. I thought you could speak a little slower because at some point it was a little difficult to catch up with you. In as much as we try to avoid pauses and the use of pause fillers, sometimes it's good to pace yourself a little bit during the speech so that we can all catch up with you and get the full value of the content that you're giving us. I liked that you had the relationship to Christmas and took us into your speech based on that. And it was a good speech. Another thing I would give feedback on is a few of your pronunciations. I noticed a few words weren't pronounced properly. I'm sure the grammarian would give some feedback on that. So please just watch out for that and the pace of your speech. But all in all, well done. I commend you, and I look forward to listening to your next speech, hopefully next month. Thank you very much, General Evaluator.
All right, I will now return the control back to Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President. Please, I would like to invite the evaluator of TM Yetunde Babaeko's speech, TM Olumide Akintokun, to please deliver the evaluation. Thank you, TM Olumide.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko, I caught a glimpse of your comments in the chat box saying that you have to wait for what the evaluator has to say. You sound apprehensive already. You did good. You did excellently well. So be at rest, be at ease. I'm not going to skin you alive. All right. I always look forward to your stats. And the reason is your stats are always interesting. You either start with a quote or with a pause, but there's something that gives your audience that feeling of, I want to know what she has to say. And again, you started that way. You didn't disappoint. I love your camera position. Your background was good and the light balance was excellent. I saw every expression on your face. I could make out when you bent your brow, when you tried to smile. So the light balance was good. Your camera work is great. I like the fact that you broke down the word procrastination for us. You gave us the origin and what it meant. So it makes meaning when people are saying, I'll do this tomorrow, because you are leaving what you have to do today to tomorrow. I love your hand gestures. I must say they are improving with every speech. I love your pace. It was good. What would I love for you? What would I love to see differently next time is that even though you didn't start with a greeting, I was expecting it to come maybe after your first paragraph. Okay, when you greet the audience, it connects you in a way to them. It makes the audience aware that you know that they are there, most especially that we're in the virtual world now. It's different for physical meetings because you can relate physically with them, but when you're in the virtual space, greet your audience, let them know, acknowledge their presence. So next time, please uh, put in your greeting in your speech. Your tone needs more work. Yes, fine. There was vocal variety, but please work a bit more on your tone. Your facial expression, it came in the end when you gave us some love with your eyeballs like that. But please let the facial expression last the entire speech, not just bits of it, unless you want to maintain a straight face to illustrate a point. I like that you used a relatable topic. The example you picked from the table topics shows that you are quick thinking in the organization of your speech. You gave practical steps to overcome procrastination. You did just leave us to figure it out. And I love this expression, Toastmaster of life. Very beautiful. And of course, you had the presence of mind to use the word of the day, not once, but twice. Well done, Toastmaster Yetunde Ayeni Babaeko. I'm looking forward to seeing these recommendations in your next speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Mr. General Evaluator, you are
You are muted, sir.
Okay, you're muted.
Sorry. Thank you very much, TM Olumide Akintokun, for that brilliant evaluation. I will also call on the evaluator of TM Victor Ajayi's speech, beloved TM. Over to you, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Toastmaster Victor, I thoroughly enjoyed that session. I thought it was well planned and thought out, along with Toastmaster Olumide, who helped with the facilitation of the interview. Clearly, both of you had a good conversation before the speech, and it showed through the way the session was delivered. Questions were specific, they were enlightening, and you answered them. You answered pretty much all of them quite well. I think that if you were at an actual interview, you would have excelled and perhaps gotten to the final stages of getting that job. In terms of your poise, your background, your presentation, the way you were dressed, and your level of confidence in responding to the questions, I thought you did very well. I thought you planned it out, you planned it out well, such that you were able to convey that you knew what you were talking about for the duration of the interview. The areas I would like to give feedback on, constructive feedback on, are your response to some of the questions. So I interview people every now and then, and sometimes I cringe when they give me vague or ambiguous responses to some questions. So at some point you mentioned, amongst one or two other things, you mentioned you have good leadership qualities. I would have loved it if you had given an example of how you exhibit good leadership qualities, because you do have those experiences. So when you respond to questions like that, always back them up with examples and more content that would add value to your response. That way you secure more credibility. But I do love the response to the question on your weakness. That's actually an example of how you could have responded to the leadership question. You turned your weakness into an area of self and professional development. And I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Employers would love to hear that. In terms of more constructive feedback, I would say, please watch out for a few of your pronunciations as well, and one or two grammatical errors. The grammarian would probably give more insight on that. If not, I would perhaps send you a private message on one or two things. All in all, great speech. I hope we can all take a lesson or two from them, especially if we're applying for new jobs. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Victor, and your assistant in this speech, Toastmaster Olumide Akintoku. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Onyebayemi, for that brilliant evaluation. I will now go over to other segments of the meeting, and I would like to call for reports from the timer. The timer, I think she's been giving her reports consistently. So I don't know if you have any other additional feedback to provide, especially for the evaluation segment. Were they all within time? Timer, please. TM Ujiro.
Oh, apologies. I was on mute. Okay. The evaluators were all within time. The first evaluator had 2 minutes 52 seconds. The second one had 3 minutes 15 seconds, and the third one had 3 minutes 12 seconds. So they were all within time. Thank you. And
Brilliant.
So far, everybody has been doing really well on time. Kudos.
All right, thank you very much. I will now launch the poll for votes. Please ignore DTM. I will launch the poll for the evaluation segment in a bit. Please, I would like to call the grammarian or listening evaluator to deliver the report for the meeting. TM David Shonaya, over to you, please.
Good morning again, everyone. I would have to say that we've all delivered an ebullient performance, and I'd like if you all gave yourselves a round of applause. The word of the day, ebullient, was used about 12 times. I calculate 4, 5, 9. Yes, 12 times. And it was used twice by TM Lai, twice again by TM Benga, twice by myself, 3 times by President Akpeno, twice by TM Oladiji, once by TM Omotoyo, and twice by TM Babayako. However, I do feel the delivery of that was a bit awkward because she's talking about herself, and it's not quite a friendly, bubbly self. Excuse me there. There are some grammatical errors that I see fit to talk about here. First of all, you speak off the cuff, not quite off the cuff. You are accomplishing a great feat as opposed to a great height. When one person asks, could you give me something, it's better to say, would you, if it is well within their ability to do so. Where there are more than 2 participants of any contest, the winner is referred to as the best, not the better. And procrastination is an English word with Latin roots, not really a Latin word. And my Yoruba brothers, please watch for the H factor. I missed some because I've had some network issues. So please, if anyone does know any grammatical errors, please be sure to share them. My apologies for that. The interesting phrases I was able to catch were, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Never leave till tomorrow what you can accomplish today. Time is the currency we're spending today, and I'll be sure to make sure we don't end up being bankrupt. When you are talking to yourself, you are talking to your noisy past. Yetunde Babayako's speech was just chock full of these. I can only mention a few. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, call your in-laws. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up your camera and discover life. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Thank you so much, and have a lovely remainder to the meeting.
All right. Thank you very much, TM David Shonaya, for that brilliant overview of your role. Thank you very much for that detailed report. I'll now move over to TM Joy Ojakovo, the accountant, for the accountant report. TM Joy, over to you, please.
Thank you, TM Lai, General Evaluator. This has been an ebullient meeting, and I will start with the table topic speakers. I think they were all ebullient speakers, veteran Toastmasters, so there were no filler words, or quite few filler words, except maybe David Sonaya, who had air like 3 times, like once, and this like twice, but everybody did good. And for the prepared speech, I think we're not supposed to really evaluate icebreakers, so I would say bingo for Ibidu Omotayo, quite some airs and ums and ahs and some repeats, looking for, but I think it's fine for an icebreaker speech. For the other speakers, Yetunde Babaeko, 1M, 4 so, and for repeats and probably filler words, my, for instance, they came up quite a number of times, maybe like 2 times. For TM Victor Ajayi, he did very well. However, I noticed 1 air, so, and for the repeats and so, maybe like twice. For the evaluators, everybody did really good. I was struggling with, can I just catch one? But I noticed TM Oyin, she used the objective, she repeated those. TM Akintokun, so quite a number of times. I would say bingo even for that. And for repeats, and then, even when he was talking with TM Victor Ajayi, that also came up, and then. And for TM, okay, I think I've talked about TM Oyin. So that's about all for my Akanta. The speakers were very ebullient, and I appreciate the information that I got from all this. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TM, for that ebullient delivery and report. Thank you very much, TM Joy, for that ebullient delivery once again. and for that very detailed report of your role. I will now move over to the general evaluation of the meeting. I would say the meeting started right about 10 o'clock, which is just on time. It was fraught in the meet initially with some technical challenges, but at some point, due to the current role player for the role of the general evaluator facing some emergencies, but then we were able to respond to that. Like I said, the Toastmasters must be able to wear many hats. So the JI was able to step in for that role. Of course, these are things we can't prevent. So, okay, so I would also say that in terms of the evaluate or the table topic segment, I enjoyed the choice of table topic speeches. Tiengbenga Ashaolu did a very brilliant job in that segment. The only thing I would have wished differently was if we could have more participation of guests in that segment. So I wouldn't know whether we had a limited number of guests visiting us at the club today, but I thought about the table topic segment ended up being for just members of the club. So I would have appreciated a different experience or participation in that segment. Now, of course, for the prepared speak segment, I think in between the time we had to take a break and have the prepared speech segment, as well as the acknowledgement of the DTM awards, took a bit of time, which we could have shortened a bit so that we could finish on time. Of course, brilliant speakers, very well coordinated, especially the segment involving the interviews between TM Olumide and TM Victor Ajayi. Great breaking of the ice by TM Ibido Motoyo. Well done. I would say all in all, we've tried to do very well with time. Of course, a few technical glitches here and there, but of course, due to the nature of online meetings, we'll continue to see how we can work around this and continue to deliver the optimal experience that we can for our online meetings. I would also want to commend everyone, all the speakers, all the role players who have supported in making this meeting happen today. I want to say a very big thank you to every one of us for leading the evaluation segment of this meeting. Of course, we are closing a little late. We sincerely apologize for that. Okay, so I'll now move over to, now that is my report for this meeting. Like I said, we started streaming on YouTube now, so we can also ask our colleagues and friends to share or join via YouTube. So please, I would like to invite back to the virtual lectern, the president, who is also dubbing as the Toastmaster of the Day of the Eagle Toastmasters Club, TM Yusuf Akpeno. Thank you very much, Yusuf.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. General Evaluator, for that detailed report, and thank you to your team as well for that excellent job. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the very end of this meeting. I'm certain you've enjoyed yourself. The last 2 hours of your time has been well spent, I assumed. At this juncture, I would like to now present the awards. We find a way to encourage ourselves to keep improving and keep doing well. So on that note, I'll present to you the best table topics speaker for today. Drum rolls. The best table topics, unfortunately, there is a tie, but we are going to present the award to the two of them. The best table topic speakers for today goes to Toastmaster Akanimo Ojo and Toastmaster David Shonaya. So we have two of them sharing the award there. So we'll move to the next one, which is the best evaluator for today. I think Mr. VP said you should not vote for the DTM, but unfortunately we still voted. So the best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Oyin Egbeyemi, the brand new DTM.
Sorry, it was a...
You're muted.
Please? Okay, I can hear you. Please proceed, Mr.
Yes, I said it was DTM Oluyemi I was referring to, please, not the DTM.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was not in the meeting, so I relaunched the poll. Thank you.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Onyegbeyemi DTM, he's our best evaluator for the day. And the big one, which is the best speaker for today, I want someone to guess, please. Is Toastmaster Yetunde Babaeko. Please, Toastmaster Yetunde, you are a bit apprehensive that like your evaluators said, but you eventually won the best speaker for the day. Congratulations. So we are going to share the awards and the award certificates on the WhatsApp group, so you get to receive the certificates at a later period. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. We've come to the end of this meeting. I will now transition my role from being the Toastmaster of the day.
The icebreaker speech should have an award, I think.
Of course, we are going to thank you for that timely interruption. We celebrate the icebreaker speaker, Toastmaster Ibidun Omotoyo. We are going to present the award to her. We are going to send it to her. We celebrate you. Congratulations for successfully breaking the highs. We are going to send the awards to her. Thank you, Toastmaster Joy, for that interruption. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's meeting. It is 8 minutes past 12 o'clock. We don't want to delay you further. I will just say thank you to everyone for joining this meeting. Thank you to past President Toastmaster Olumide Akintokun. I can see that you are on the road, but you find the time to join the meeting and you still play very critical roles at this meeting. Thank you to our latest DTM. Congratulations once again, Toastmaster Onyegbeyemi. Thank you to our guests from other clubs, Toastmaster Gbenga Ashaolu, Toastmaster Sheyi Oladeji. And thank you to Toastmaster Akanimo. I can see you, Toastmaster Tony, TM Winnie, and all other my ESCO members, Toastmaster Rafael, Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bello, and Madam VPPR, the ebullient Madam VPPR. Thank you, everyone. We want to say that we will engage you on other events for the year, but this is the final meeting, but we'll engage you if there are other events in the course of the year. We'll keep engaging you on our social media, and you can just send, if you're a new member or a guest who joined this meeting, you can send us your email address so that we can send you details of how to join this meeting. On this note, I would like to bring this meeting to a close. This meeting is hereby closed, but networking session continues. We'll allow the meeting room to be open for the next 10-15 minutes in case you want to engage the DTM, you want to know the secret of becoming a DTM. So please feel free to engage her. The meeting has ended. So I will now hand over to, do we have any guests in the house who want to quickly introduce him or herself, please? So, any guest? We have Tony, we have Uzoma, we have Ekereke, Inobong. Anyone willing to quickly introduce him or herself, please? So, if there is none, I think we can just enjoy the networking session and have fun and enjoy the rest of the year. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. That was a brilliant job there. And I like your background.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to my next
so being a DTM,
which should be by the next meeting.
Okay, great.
I'm going to catch up with DTM Oyi very soon.
I love that. That's a challenge. I love that.
I have you covered. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm going to deliver.
Yes, Toastmaster Oyi is already acknowledging the challenge that she wants you to catch up with her very fast. So that's very good. That's very good. Toastmaster Yetunde, well done.
TM Yetunde, I loved your speech. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Call your in-laws. I'm going to adopt that immediately.
When you call your in-law, do you need to deliver some gifts to them as well, or you just?
Yeah, of course. The call is enough. Because I don't usually call them.
Yeah.
I love that nuggets.
Mr. PP. Yes, we are
how will our end of the year party will be this year?
That's one of the things we are going to deliberate on this afternoon. So we have a number of issues sort out this afternoon.
And then the change of guard.
Yes, those are the major outstanding events.
We want to eat rice. We want to eat rice.
Because of the reason we've delayed it up to this moment is that we are trying to exploit the possibility of doing it physically instead of doing it virtually. So, but it may have to be that we'll still have to do it virtually, but you may not have the opportunity to eat rice. We'll just send the rice to your house.
Mr. President, I want to taste TM Joy's rice. I need to taste Joy's rice.
No, I'm going. My birthday is December 26th. So that jollof rice, you can be sure that I'm going to toast it for everyone.
Please send your address.
Your address.
Okay. I'll post it on that day and invite everybody.
Wow, we are looking forward to that. Please send your address.
Yes.
December 26th, Boxing Day.
Yes.
Wow. What a day! What a day! What a day! Please send your address. So
yes.
Both,
I will. And then you all agree with me that the jollof rice is just too much. And I know there was somebody that said he goes around parties looking for jollof rice. I don't know who. I can't remember.
That's the Toastmaster Agogobia.
Okay.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
You too.
Toastmaster Ibido, that was a great icebreaker. Well done.
Yeah, very good one, Toastmaster Ibido. I was going to say that. And I like your, what's that thing on your head?
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah, I know. He gave a very new twist.
The use of prop.
Yeah, I loved it. It meant that you were trying to be as relaxed as possible. You were not too serious about it. You just wanted to give your speech, express yourself. I love that. I love it.
Thank you, but I wasn't relaxed.
Yeah, it shows, and it's understandable. It's understandable. Yeah. Even for
your first project,
they fidget when they stand in front of the camera or in front of an audience to speak. But you're on the right path. You've started your icebreaker. Before you know it, you warm up to the role and catch up with veteran Toastmasters like our DTM, our president, and the like.
All right, thank you.
Well done. Congratulations once again. So just keep the fire burning.
Yes, please. Don't stop. That's the secret. Don't stop doing it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, bye. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.